Hello, you big, beautiful Broadway world, and happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of Broadway World's Next on Stage, presented by AMDA and sponsored by 54 Below and MTI. I'm your Broadway buddy, Ben Cameron, and I'm here tonight to bring you tidings of great joy. That's right. We're about to find out which college contestants have made the big top 10 of Next on Stage Season 5. I am shivering with anticipation. Students from all over the country have been submitting videos of themselves singing a song from the musical theater canon, and you, the public, have voted. Our top 10 did receive the most votes by you, the voting public, in the first round of voting, which concluded on Wednesday night. You voted them into our top 10, but now they get a chance to receive valuable feedback from our panel of Broadway superstar judges that they'll be able to put into action in the next round moving forward. The judges are also going to have an opportunity to review performances from 3 performers who were very, very close to making it into the top 10. We are calling them our awesome almosts, and our judges will have the power to move one of those awesome almost performers into next week's competition, competing for your important votes. Now, the stakes are high this year because our 3 finalists of Next on Stage will be, in both age groups, will be getting a trip to New York City to perform in a live finale this January at 54 Below. What on earth? That's very exciting. All right, before we get into all of it, I am really excited to welcome our judging panel. Please welcome, fresh off the stage of Gypsy on Broadway, hot in previews, it's Leslie Margarita.
Woohoo! Hello!
Pigs in
space! Hi! You're all getting fresh face, wet hair, preview look.
Is this preview realness?
It's preview realness, yeah. It's preview realness when you're there all day. And
well, you're there all day. What's been exciting in the week since we've last gotten to see you over at the big theater?
Oh my gosh, I love previews because like changes go in and new set pieces, and it's just the show is so good. And yeah, I'm really excited. We have like another week and a half of previews.
Well, here's the question: a week and a half left of previews. What are you wearing for opening night?
I don't know yet.
What?
I don't know yet. It crept up on me. So it's been busy. I know. I'm going to deal with it this week. I know. I have to. It's
been busy. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's a nod to your character. Maybe there's some butterflyage. I don't know.
Leslie. I don't know. I'm not really a butterfly person, but you know, and I wear them so much in the show. It's all I wear are butterflies. Literally just butterflies. Only 3 strategically placed butterflies.
And how excited are you for this top 10?
So excited. I'm so excited. I love this group and just really excited.
All right, here we go. Bringing in our next judge, J. Elaine Marcos. Also currently treading the boards in Drag the Musical, wherein she is hilarious.
Oh, it's fun over there. I'm loving it.
And
so
J.
everything's good.
We just did a little interview segment for Broadway World talking about all things AMDA, which was
going back in the 90s because that's
what we talked
when we were babies. But yeah,
we were babies full of hope and joy. What do you have to say to our babies who are going to be in the top 10 today?
Keep that hope, keep that joy. And I know that they all had to pick songs from a very specific category. So it's all about choosing a song that will bring them out and what they can do to add to the song. So because that's not an easy thing to do. So
no.
That's part of it.
Put aside your preconceived notions of a piece and how do you bring yourself to it? Not
put the special sauce on top of it, all that stuff. You on top of it.
I love sauce. I'm so glad you brought that. Also joining us on our judge, maybe I'll talk to my therapist about that. It's Broadway's Kate Rockwell.
Ooh, you can't bring me in after I love sauce. Broadway's Kate Rockwell. can't breathe.
Go back out. Let's try that again.
Speaking of someone who always brings the sauce, Kate.
Oh my God.
Kate, what on earth is happening? You're heading to the White House. Tell us about it.
I am. Yeah, no, I am not on the boards. I am the one here not treading any boards, but I will be. I'm going to the White House this weekend. I leave literally as when we're done filming. I get on a train because this show that I've been working on for several years that we just did recently at the Boston Pops back in the late spring that is available for streaming on PBS stations everywhere, which is true. But we've been invited to perform at the White House tomorrow evening for President Biden. And so
Oh my gosh.
we literally have not done it since the spring. And so we've been throwing it together in the last 48 hours. That's real. We travel today and we perform for the president himself and for members of Congress. I have not yet been told if Kamala will be there, so I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that I might get to also perform for her. And so we're gonna go perform. We get to like hang out in the China room. That's like our green room. They've turned the China room into the green room. We're performing in the blue room, I believe, is what I was told. And then they're having a dinner for us in our honor in the state room.
Stop.
These are all the best rooms.
They're all the rooms.
Oh my God.
These are all the best rooms.
The White House is all decorated. The tree is being lit outside the White House this evening. So like we're gonna see the tree lit. We're gonna see all the decorations. Like this is a wild performance opportunity. And the show is all about World War II, and so it's in honor of our veterans. And there will be members of the veteran community that will be there. We have some family members of people who were either are mentioned in our show. They're going to be present. I don't want to give anything away in case anybody is watching this before we do it, but it's a very, very cool show honoring not just Americans who were big in the war, who participated in the war, but a lot of, how America was involved in World War II and the sort of voices that helped communicate what was going on in the war back to the people. And it uses we have all kinds of spectacular images, some text that's never been seen before or heard before in other, historical, I don't want to say portrayals, but sort of references. And we use music of the period and some other music. We have 4 Broadway performers that participated. It's a very cool piece. And it's called The Eyes of the World, and it's available on PBS if people want to watch it. The show that we did in Boston back in the spring with the Pops is available. It's free, so you can watch it whenever.
These are some pinch me moments.
This is a little bit of like I never thought. I never would have said like I hope someday because it seems such a big honor. That you like almost don't hope to ever be able to perform, but I get to meet the president, and this is really cool.
That is the coolest.
So cool. That is so cool. And I love those wonderful milestones that exist within our careers that don't necessarily happen in a Broadway house.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's what it is. There's so much more than, not to say Broadway's bad, but I mean, there's so many things outside of that.
Yeah. Well, and again, it reminds you that this business is huge and that the kinds of things that you do as a part of the acting community, the Broadway community, you just can never imagine where it's going to take you. This particular show has gotten me my Carnegie Hall debut, my Boston Symphony Hall debut, my Kennedy Center concert debut, and now I will perform at the White House with this show alone. So, like,
did you create it?
Yeah.
Come on, that is your own work.
Building this show since we started working on this show in 2015.
Wow.
So, and we've done, there's other shows in the series that we've also created. We've done a World War I show that we've performed at Carnegie Hall. We've done a Vietnam show. There's a show about the moon landing that has been done. I didn't do the Carnegie Hall show of that one because it was the same year we opened Mean Girls. But this particular show I have been a part of all the way from its inception in 2015.
Yep. That's your own work you created, and look what
it's so cool, right?
Like, this is appropriate.
Yeah, I mean,
this is appropriate for this.
So great.
Very cool.
Well, judges, a lot going on for all three of you. That's a lot of knowledge that you get to impart to our top 10 today. Today, we're celebrating one of our sponsors, MTI. Music Theater International is one of the world's leading licensing agencies, granting theaters from around the world the rights to perform the greatest selections of musicals from Broadway and beyond. From new acquisitions like Aunt Juliet and Kimberly Akimbo to classics like Little Shop of Horrors and Into the Woods, MTI has a musical for every type of performer and audience. MTI's catalog includes so many shows that we know and love, and that's awesome because our college students are singing from those shows in their performances this week. Now, be sure that you, our viewing public, are following along today with Broadway World Stage Mag, which you can check out simply by scanning the QR code here. All right, judges, shall we do it? Let's meet this spectacular top 10 in no particular order. Kicking us off tonight in the top 10, Emily Marx from Alpharetta, Georgia. Emily is a student at Ithaca College, and last week she sang Natalia. This week she's bringing us Here I Am from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Congratulations, Emily.
I've been kind of missing Mom and Daddy, sort of in a spin since Cincinnati. The morning flight, a major bore, but then they opened the cabin door and soon Dolores, here I am. I mean, the air is French, that chair is French, this nice Sancerre is French, these skies are French, these pies are French, those guys are French, these fries are French. Pardon me if I fly off the handle, but no place else on earth can hold a candle. So many VDVC folks, let's face it, just was easy, folks. Excusez-moi if I spout, I'm letting my sauce equal out. I'm sorry to shout, but here I am. Call me.
We are top 10, Emily Marx. I feel like this is a role that all three of you actresses should play. I feel like I can see each one of you playing this role. Hey, Kate, let's start with you.
Yeah, Emily, that was great. This is my introduction to this group because last week Jay Lane and I did the high school group. So this is I get to meet you all this week, which is, I mean, it's kind of my favorite part is getting to like meet everybody and take them sort of at their performance. I feel like I got a lot of great stuff about you from this. Like the joy is wonderful. Your voice is beautiful. I feel like forgot about this song. I love this song. I haven't heard it in so long. Thanks MTI. I just lost my train of thought. No, okay, I got it. My advice, Emily, is this was so joyful and bright, and I think you have like a really great platform for this song to start off with. And now I want you to free yourself a little bit because I think it felt a little like prepared as opposed to taking something in and taking something in and taking something in and taking something in. I just messed up my computer. Don't take in electronics. But allowing things to kind of hit you as you're experiencing them. And sort of living with a little bit more abandon. Let that joy be a little bit more unbridled. There's my vocab word for the day. Because everything you're doing is lovely. And now I just want to see it be a little bit more spontaneous. Because that's what's happening, right? She's literally taking everything in that she's seeing as she's seeing it. And finding the joy in it. So that's my feedback for the next time you do the song, which won't be for us, is let go and let loose a little bit. And let that joy really hit you as it's happening.
Terrific. J. Elaine Marcos.
Okay, Emily, fantastic joy in this. There's no doubt that I got, Emily, your charm and your personality. I do the same thing as Kate was saying. I love the joy. It did seem very clean, which I actually thought I was very impressed by that because there is a possibility with this to move a lot, especially within a tape. So I think you were able to handle the joy and excitement in a clean way in a self tape. So I felt that was a good thing because the potential of being larger and being distracting, that didn't happen. So I actually really loved your containment in a sense of being clean. It did seem a little bit not as free, but the cleanliness I did appreciate. Perhaps a little bit of a tighter cut just from the top. Because there is the movement, I don't think it needs to be tight, because once you start doing that, it's just too much. So just, if anything, maybe just a technical thing, perhaps less on the top, but love your energy. And there's no doubt that I would leave this as if I was, well, I am an adjudicator. I would say, oh, remember that person who sang and had great energy? I might not remember the song, but that's what I'm left with. Mm-hmm. So I love that that's what you did, Emily.
Fantastic. Miss Margarita, what are your thoughts for Emily?
Loved it, Emily. And I'm agreeing with both of my cohorts here completely. I think that, same thing, crop it. And it is about this song, I feel like is, yes, it's joyful, but it's also, she cannot believe she's here. So there has to be that element of like, can you believe it? I can't. Like,
incredulity.
Yeah, it's incredulity. Mm-hmm. These fries, the guys, I can't believe. And you have opportunities with things like Zoutalo, speak it badly. You are in France. You don't know how these things are pronounced. There are little comedic things that you can do within that so that it's not all one note. But it is like, it was beautiful. You sound great. Loved it. Yeah, just go further.
All right, this top 10's off to a great start. Next up, making it through top 10, it's Terk Walker from Hanford, California. And currently, get ready for it, a student at AMDA.
No!
He's saying Stay Gold from The Outsiders. And this week, Terk singing On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady, The Range. Take it away, Terk.
And oh, the doubting feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The doubting feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me. For there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you
Terk Walker. I gotta say, judging from last week, I know there were some comments made about the crop of the video. I think those notes were really well taken.
Good to know. Good to know.
Let's go ahead and start with you, Jay Elaine.
Yeah, you know what? When you tell me that one has taken a note, that is huge. That means someone listens, and that's all you kind of want. Not the only thing you want in a performer, but that ability to take notes. Because as you know, we're given direction from directors, and directors also want us to come up with stuff. So I just love the fact that one will take a note. Terk, I love that there's no doubt that you have this sweet personality behind, like, I can feel it. Beautiful voice. I was wondering if it's possible when I was watching Terk, I was wondering, I know it sounds silly, but where are you? Are you on a street? And if you are on a street, are there other things going on? It's that layer now that I think, Terk, I would want, because I see you have this focus. But in my head, I was wondering, and this sounds silly, but like, if you're on the street, are other people around? Are they watching you? And you kind of even mentioned that in the lyrics. Like, I don't care if people are watching me. So it says to me that perhaps you are maybe silly on the street and other people are watching you and you're like, you see them. So not to say environment work, but I think it's important for you to know where you are, because that'll inform how you might present the song, where you see the person that you're thinking of and other people are walking around. And I think that might add another element. So that's kind of what was going on in my head, just to add another layer to this beautiful performance. And you have a beautiful instrument, Terk. So really great work.
Awesome. Leslie.
Oh my gosh, Terk, from last week, which you did Stay Gold, and all of us went, send this to casting immediately. Mm-hmm. And then you completely flipped the style, the song. And so that's incredible. You sounded amazing. And I love that you can do both of these, like, you know, not that Outsiders is modern, but a newer piece, and then do such a classical piece so well. I think is like really, really impressive, and what a great skill. I lost you a little bit on the high note. I just lost your face. We tend to close our eyes because we know the high note is coming, and it's so I lost you a little bit because I loved just seeing your face and seeing your eyes. I loved the sound was great. This time you totally took all the notes, which is amazing. I just think you are so cool. I really loved it. I'm great choice from last week to switch.
Great. High praise from Leslie. Kate, what are your thoughts for Terk?
Terk, hi, nice to meet you. I love that you chose something vastly different than what you did last week. You know, we got a song list of everybody that performed last week, and so you kind of go through and see, like, what does everyone choose to present themselves, and to see somebody make a conscious choice to go from something that's wildly contemporary, not necessarily in the period of the show, but in the writing of the show, and then to choose something that is at its core classic musical theater is so intelligent, because again, you're showing us such a vast range of what you're capable of, and you show me that not only do you know that you're versatile, but you can then actively choose to engage in different styles. That is such like an intelligent choice, because it wasn't like we assigned you, you know, My Fair Lady. We like, you went out and chose a piece that like is a classic. That's really, really wise. I love this. I thought it was really sweet and genuine. I actually, my exact note is almost exactly what Jay Elaine said, which is you had such great focus with the person that you were singing to. And now I would challenge you to take in your environment as it's happening, especially because you are literally singing about an environment, even though it's also about a person, multi-layered there, but like allow yourself to take that in real time. So even though it's all here, yeah, then you can take in the houses, the street, the people on the street. And what that does is it just gives us like another dimension of human behavior, right? Because it almost never do we have entire conversations where we just stare at someone. Even if we're talking to someone, like I am talking to you right now, it's actually really weird that I have not looked at anything else and I'm just dead eyeing this camera, right? Like it's just an unusual thing because we move our eyes, we move our focus while we are still maintaining a conversation. So that would be the next level to bring into this song. My only other thing, and this is subjective, is your background and your shirt are very similar colors, which makes me lose you slightly. Pop a color never hurt nobody. I say, like, if you're going to have a neutral background like that, just something with a little bit more substantial color will help offset that so that the camera doesn't have to work so hard to make sure that you are not the wall. That's, some people don't care. It's just something to think about. That's all. But those are great performance.
Pop a color never.
Well, it never hurt.
Never won.
I love it.
All right. We move on. Next up in our top 10, we have Erin Morton. Erin's from Jackson, Mississippi, and she's a student at the University of Cincinnati. Last week, Erin sang Meadowlark, and this week she'll be performing She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. Take it away, Erin.
She is scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day, till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone, but it used to be mine. Oh, used to be mine. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
Erin Morton. Talk about the fire in her eyes. Leslie.
Erin, there is no doubt your voice is unbelievable. You would tear this role up. There's no doubt. I don't know what to say because this is such a hard cut for an audition, because I wanted to say, like, we didn't see the growth, but then I did see at the end the heartbreak. So it's really hard because we got the meat of the song. But I wouldn't know how to cut it any other way, honestly, to show off your voice so much. I think it was stunning. I think it's incredible. I don't want to touch this one because I really felt like, especially at the end, I love that you kept like the emotion in it. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, I kind of broke at the end. No, that's what it is. That's life. And that's, you know, I loved it. And yeah, you would absolutely tear this role up for real. So yeah, incredible.
Great. Let's toss it to Kate.
Yeah. Wow, Erin. Again, stunning introduction. Your voice is spectacular, and I mean this in the best way. One of the things I love about musical theater self-tapes is when someone is really wailing and I can see literally straight down their throat, and I'm like, yes, give me that open sound. Like, it means you're doing it right, which is like that's like a silly thing that in real theater you can never do because you be too far away. But in tapes, I'm like, I can see your tonsils. Like, it's awesome. And to me, it means like, yes, we are doing the thing that we are doing the right way. That is how we do the thing. Side note. Anyway, back to the performance. I agree with Leslie that this is a really hard song to cut, especially in like if you wanted to do like verse 2 into that would be one thing, but then that's long. I don't know. It's just tough. Yeah. I think this is how I would have cut it if I were going to do it. But it's a tough moment to dive into. To me, this seemed very clear that you weren't just like pulling up out of nowhere, which is awesome. Means you had a really clear moment before. I would suggest that you find a way, and part of this is because you didn't get the luxury of the first 2 verses. Find a way to still your body, even though the emotion is so high and the passion is so high, and the sort of whatever angst, whatever your emotional words are at that point, are so high that yes, it is very physical. For the sake of a cut, find a way to channel that energy into this and let the body still slightly, only because if you're going to dive in at a level 9, allow us to come meet you there. We're not there yet. And so we need to stay focused with you a little bit. And I think that just purely physical stillness will help with that. Again, that's going to be true. Like if you started, I dreamed a dream at the highest note, you'd have the same issue, right? Like anytime you pick a song and you're starting at the most extreme emotional level, you have to get your audience to where you are very, very quickly. And remember that we have been out here in the real world not experiencing anything, and so we have to find a way to bring us into where you are. That is extremely difficult, which is why I think this is a tough song to cut. I'm certainly not saying that's a bad thing. It just means you're going to have to do more work. So see if you can find a way to channel all of that feeling into just the voice and the face, so that this can still a little bit, and then you can start moving with the piece. Once you've gotten us on board, give us just a couple of seconds to get on board. But I mean, it's breathtaking, and I think the ending was absolutely lovely. I mean, absolutely lovely. What a mediocre compliment. It was stunning because again, it had such beautiful vocal quality, but the emotion came first, and that's what we're always looking for in these big monster sing songs. Is not recording studio vocal sound. We're looking for real authentic emotion that is supported by breathtaking vocal technique, and I think that's exactly what you did. So nice work.
Terrific. J. Elaine.
Oh, to piggyback on both. Absolutely. I love there's a certain thing with self-tapes that when the sound gets, like when there's a certain sound that comes out of somebody and the recording just is like, I don't know what to do with this amazing sound. And that's the sound that we hear. So it obviously would be different in a theater, but there is a certain sound when you're like, oh yeah, this is a self-tape where the camera is like, oh my gosh, this sound is amazing. So we just know that your instrument, Erin, there's no doubt the voice is there. I absolutely agree with everyone. And I'm wondering if to help that idea of still having an arc with the very end of the song is, even though the lyrics are very similar, used to be mine, 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 even though the vocals are there, what is the thought behind every single mind? So even if it's loud and it's that same note, maybe your thought could be something that is different so that you can go to the thought of, I wish, I miss, I need that back. Maybe that thought can help when you're singing. So instead of thinking of the note, we're now in the actor brain of going, I wish, no, I want, I have to. Maybe that might help the journey. So I think for anyone singing a song that has that big ending, maybe it's the thought and the subtext behind everything that can change. Maybe that might be able to help. But absolutely beautiful tape. And I do also go along with Kate with that stillness in the very beginning, because any little rocking, it takes away from what the focus is and your energy going forward as opposed to side to side. But no doubt, beautiful instrument and performer.
Terrific. All right. Who's next in the top 10? I know. It's Fernando Flores from Miami, Florida. Fernando is a student at Manhattan School of Music. Last week he brought us How Glory Goes, and this week he's singing Somebody Somewhere from The Most Happy Fella. Well done.
Well, I want to be wanted, need to be needed, and I'll admit I'm all aglow, 'cause somebody somewhere wants me and needs me, wants lonely me to smile and say hello, 'cause somebody somewhere wants me and needs me, and that's very wonderful to know.
Fernando Flores.
Fernando.
Interesting song choices. In weeks, How Glory Goes into Somebody Somewhere, which we don't hear very often. Yeah, let's start with you, Kate.
Yeah, I was literally going, I'm like, I don't know when the last time I heard this song was. This is a great song. Although I've never seen a production of Most Happy Fella.
I haven't either.
Like, I feel like it doesn't get done anymore. That's like, again, you like start to, after a while, you go like, wow, I've never seen this show. I've been doing this a really long time. I've seen a lot of shows. I've never seen this. Even like a high school version. Anyway, doesn't matter. Hi, Fernando. Nice to meet you. This was beautiful. First of all, you are adorable and the camera really loves you. You just like that color on you, like it all just pops and your eyes light up is really, really a beautiful tape. Your voice is lovely. This sounds beautiful on your voice. Like very rich textured sound, which I adore and is, I think, right for the show. It's like how I imagine this is sung. I'm like, wow, I don't really know anything about the piece. My feedback is actually a little bit similar to Terk. I was like going back 2 performances, which is I want to like take in something a little bit more. The focus was so still and so lovely, but it made me go, who are you talking to? And to be clear, I don't know. I don't know in the show who you're talking to. But I do want to know who you are talking to. And I think that there was such a still focus that it sort of took me out a little bit of like, are you talking to yourself? Which is sort of what I interpreted the song. That does not mean you need to. And if you're talking to another person, who is it? What's your emotional, like, what's your relationship to them? I just wanted a little bit more of the sort of depth beyond just the first reaction to somebody somewhere wants me and needs me, right? Like, yay, positive. Somebody somewhere wants me, needs me, and that's good. which is great. And now let's take it down a notch. Why is that so great? Who are you telling? If you're telling yourself, which is a super valid choice for this song, why are we talking about this? Is it because it's been a really long time since you've been cared for, which is, or felt cared for, felt important to someone else? There's a lot of nuance to that. There's a lot of layer to the feeling of like, I finally am getting this. And I think that one of the things that happens in musical theater performance, especially for young performers when they're sort of honing their craft, is that we are taught rightly that we want to focus our attention somewhere. But then that can sometimes become so focused that we lose track of this scene. And remember that this is a scene at the end of the day. Even if it's a scene with just yourself, you are still in a place having an experience in real life. So let's broaden the real life experience of this a little bit. And not that it needs to be big. It doesn't need to move. It doesn't need to go anywhere. It can be just as still, but allow yourself to experience all of the complexities of what it feels like to feel loved or cared for, or again, whatever your specifics are about this song. That's a very deep thing. It has a lot of layers. There's joy. There's probably some sadness. Otherwise we wouldn't be singing about it this way. It's not a da-da-da-da-da-da, yay. It's so find what that is and take it in your environment, take it in your body. My favorite part of that performance was at the end when you sort of looked down and like had a little moment to yourself, and it was so precious, and I literally went, oh. So like find more opportunities for that kind of I'm going to call like a wider scope of focus about what is happening to you in this moment that is so big that you have to sing about it. That's my thought.
That's great. What are your thoughts, Jay Elaine?
To go along with Kate, everything you're saying there, then I was thinking, in order to help that, maybe Fernando, you could, if you are talking to somebody, what if somebody in between the lines? Because the question that I had is, if you are talking to someone, what are they saying in between? If you were to say, somebody loves me, and someone says to you, no, they don't. No, they do. Somebody loves me. So that way it threads to the next line. Because I feel like, Fernando, it was so well rehearsed. There's no doubt. You have rehearsed this and rehearsed this. But there was no discovery in it of like, I don't know what the next line is. So if you perhaps took it as a monologue or as a dialogue, what is being inserted in between to thread the next line? So sometimes what I do is I pretend that I am talking to somebody, and if I say somebody loves me and someone goes, they do, and I go, yeah, somebody loves me. So that way I can differentiate that first line to the second line. So maybe just to go along with what Kate said is to find that who you're talking to, and that's how you can work the song to make it organic and discover each next line, because it is a reaction off of what the other person said. This is so much work, and it has nothing to do with vocals or anything. It's like, how do I make every single line in this almost poem make sense and make it a dialogue? Take away that other person, now I got to sing it. So I think that might go along with what Kate was saying. And just another thing of just, I was aware, actually, I feel like, Leslie, you might talk about it, but just hands. I started looking at your hands. I'm going to take it. I'm going to throw it to Leslie now. I'm done because I know I feel it.
Okay. Fernando, I loved this, and it was beautiful and gorgeous. Literally, and Kate and Jay Lane said everything like I wanted to say. So I was going to go to the physical. I do love the coziness of this. Don't open your tape that way, because if the first thing I see is this, I wonder, is he having?
Are you cold?
Are you all right? Are you cold? Or is he like nervous?
Are you nervous?
You don't know what you're about to sing. So I need to see a little bit of like a neutral at the beginning, just a teeny bit. Then you can go cozy. But to open that way, it took me out, because I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this is yet, because I don't know what the song is. I don't, because often in an audition, if you're in a room, you don't say, I'm going to sing blah, 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 blah. You don't. They just go, okay, go. And they don't know what you're going to sing. I swear to you, you do not, in the old days we didn't. At least you don't like go and say, my name is Leslie Margarita, I'm going to sing on the street where you live. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't get to do that. So I would just watch, for all of you, we're being so nitpicky with everybody. Just watch it in the first scene. Then absolutely physicalize how you want it. It was just a little too for me, like a little.
It's the same beat as what we were just talking about with Erin, where you're like, you just have to remember that we're not where you are yet.
Yes.
Your audience hasn't caught on. So like, give us a second to be like, oh, here, the boat. This is the boat we're on.
Yeah. So nitpicky, but that's what we're here for. Yeah.
Ladies, we are master classing today. I am taking it all in. All right, next up in the top 10, hailing from Levittown, New York, we welcome Dylan Renard into the top 10. Dylan's a student at the University of Hartford. Last week, Dylan sang Left Behind, and this week he's singing Corner of the Sky from Pippin.
So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know of it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me sing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble, eagles belong where they can fly. I've gotta be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky.
Now, if I was a betting man, Dylan, I would guess that your high school theater director put you in Pippin.
I would.
And
I would.
you in Pippin. Leslie, let's go back to you.
Dylan, vocally, like beautiful, gorgeous. I need to see this story. I need to see on your face a little more. Instead of physicality of River, you're talking about yourself. You're not actually talking about River. I need to see the story of the joy of this and the yearning of what you want, because it is his I want. So I just didn't see the I want. I just saw a kind of rehearsed with runs. And I'm not sure Pippin has runs, but not for me to discuss, Kate, and I'll leave that to you. I didn't get it from your face and your eyes. And that is, I would say, even more important than the vocal quality, especially in a song like this that is so well known. And it's also a tough song because everybody sings it, everybody knows it. So I need to know what your take on a song that everybody has done is. So just keep that in mind. Vocally, great. You're adorable. Like, I just want to see your stamp on it.
Great. Kate, Leslie was saying you've got some thoughts on this. I believe she's right.
I defer vocals to Kate. That's all.
The pan down the road. Dylan, hi. Yes, I would definitely cast you in Pippin. This is a great song for you. This feels like a good role for you, like what you're presenting, what you're putting out. I think that Pippin is picking up. So you sound beautiful. I'm gonna thumbs up on everything Leslie said, which is, and I don't need to you already heard her talk about it. I also wonder, because this song, like Leslie said, is beloved. It's done all the time. Every good male actor who presents, the way that you do, has done this song at some point for a reason, right? It's a great role. It's a great song. It's a great I Want song. It's it articulates so breathtakingly something that I think a lot of people can connect to, which is the desire to find a place where they belong. I don't know you, but I assume you have had an experience like that in your life somewhere. So it's sort of a universal theme that people can connect to. One of the things I wonder about this song, and I have never performed it, is that it is a massive feeling. It is a huge feeling, and it is a huge song. And I sometimes wonder if it feels too big to be authentic about what it is like to want something so badly, and then put big images and big sound and big words to that very big feeling is it's very vulnerable, because you have to really go for it, right? You have to be willing to be giant. And I sometimes think, and I know this is true for me, self-tapes make you feel small, like you have to be small because you're in a camera, which is true. Tricky, right? Musical theater is hard. So I say, like, go bigger, go big. Go in your room, don't turn on a camera, and just be real about what it is like to want something massive, and say it out loud. Don't even sing it. Don't stick it to rhythm. Just say the words out loud. Do that terrible musical theater monologue, song to monologue game that we all have had to do, and you will continue to have to do. I'm sorry, it's part of our job.
Yeah.
And do it in your room alone, and then add the music, and then tape it, right? Like, because that's, at the end of the day, you got to tap into what it feels like to be like, I want something. I want it so bad, and find what it feels like for you, and then put those huge vulnerable notes, that those extended long lines, which is also vulnerable singing. That is like, it's literally cracking your heart open and being like, look at everything I want on pitch, which is scary. And then put yourself in front of a camera and be like, crap, I gotta fit in the box. Like, it's really hard to do big songs like this, period. And then it's really hard to film them. So my challenge to you is worry less about making it a good musical theater self-tape for now. Yes, that is part of the job. Obviously, that's what we've asked you to do. I'm aware of all of the layers that go into, what these are. But find what it is first, and then find a way to fit it on screen. Don't start with the screen part, because musical theater is at its core massive, and translating massive to a tiny screen is hard. Don't start with the screen. You will always feel boxed in. I hate it. I hate doing tapes, for that exact reason. It's a skill that we all have to learn, but we have to learn how to get to the big feeling first. So go get to the big feeling and then come put it on camera.
That's in a nutshell. Here's my heart on pitch.
Yeah.
Elaine.
I know. So, like, exactly what everyone was saying, like, working backwards, knowing that we're going to go, I want this. So maybe in the very beginning, it could be like, this is the first time I've actually saying this out loud. Oh my gosh, is this what I want? Oh my God, I think this is what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yes, that's it. So again, having that arc. And I think not to say this is what happened, but Dylan, perhaps I felt like you were acting on every line. But it was the in-between that Leslie had mentioned before, like, the juicy, not the comedy, but like, that's where you can sprinkle yourself into those in-between of like, I want this, but you know what else I want? I want this. Like, so the thoughts in between the line can make it feel organic. And that's what I want. So you're discovering it. So maybe also focus on the in-between thoughts and not just the notes, so that you can get the actor brain out of like, how do I sound? Where is my river? So how do you connect? So it's really now working on the in-between stuff. Musical theater's hard. You just want to sing, but it's like we have to do all the other things. We get the notes, but then we have to think of what's happening in between each line. So I think that might help to make it more organic and playful.
Can I say one more thing? Because we didn't talk. Because everyone does runs and stuff in classical musical theater songs. I'm not saying don't do them, but if there's nothing behind a reason why you're doing a run, it then just becomes a cabaret song.
And there's a version, the version that you did, Dylan, I've heard before. I've heard a lot of those runs, so I know you're pulling that from something like there's a very, I feel like it might even be if Ben Platt did that. Like, he did a version recently that was very contemporary, and there's not anything wrong with that. It's just that you have to know that in concert world, you can do whatever you want, because it's a concert and you're literally there to do whatever you want to do. In audition land, you are telling a story, and then the runs, the riffs, all of the vocal, fanciness has to have a reason. So that's the difference, right? Is like, you can hear a recording of somebody riffing all over the place on, Come to Me, Bend to Me, and be like, okay, that sounds cool because it's different. But when you audition with it, when you perform it in a non-concert setting, every single one of those has to have an emotional instigator. Otherwise, it's just noise. And noise is only useful in a recording booth or on a concert stage.
Much better. Yes.
I didn't even address it. I tried to get away from it. I tried to run away and not talk about it. Unless
He came back.
pulled me back in.
He came back in. Hey, Jeff, we're halfway through. Kicking off that second half, we're happy to welcome Christel Kenta-Bibi from Glastonbury, Connecticut, and a student at the University of Michigan. Last week, she sang Shopping Around, and this week, she's performing Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors.
I know Seymour is the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist, so I got a black eye in my arms and a kiss. Still, that Seymour's a cutie, but not his garden or beauty, and I dream of a place where we could be together at last. A matchbox of our own, a fence of real chain link, a grill out on the patio, disposal in the sink, a washer and a dryer and an ironing machine, in a tract house that we share somewhere that's green.
Christel giving us some ands and some ands. Elaine, let's start with you.
Yeah, beautiful. It's funny you say ands and ands and ands. This is a lot of lists. When we got lists, we got to make them really specific and actually not have them prepare. It's that discovery again. So as beautiful as this tape is, it seems very clean, but this is everything does need to be a discovery, and the idea, perhaps, I've never said this out loud, so not only the list of this and this and this, but what is your feeling of actually saying it out loud? Are you actually doubting it? Are you embarrassed? No, this is what I deserve. Like, this list needs not to be just milk, sugar, this, that, your relationship to everything on this list. Why a certain house like that? Because I've always wanted that. Why? Because I deserve that. Maybe in the past I was told this. So it's like making those specific things on that list personal to you. I do love the focus that you had between seeing something, but it wasn't specific enough to me but the something was over here and the person you were talking to. I love that focus, which was clean, but it was more the specificity of when you mentioned the thing and you went back to your friend who you're talking to, what is their reaction? Are they laughing at you? And so as you say it, hey, no, this is what I want. So it's that kind of reaction to this list that we need to put on top of all these words. But there's no doubt this is well-rehearsed, beautiful energy, great physical, like, stillness in a sense, even with those two different focuses. But it does need to be more connected and finding more discovery in each of those lines, the things that you say.
Terrific. Let's go to Kate.
Yes, Christel, beautiful. Wow, you are stunning. Like, again, the camera, you just, like, you light up on camera, which is so, it's like, I was so in your face is what I was going to say. I was so in your face. Like, I was just, like, so engaged in the way that you literally light up from the inside, which is great. I don't know how to say that in a less weird way that I just said it, but it's a positive, it's a compliment. I mean, you look beautiful performing. I don't know why I couldn't just say that like a person talks. You sound great. I love this song. I have a lot of like personal connection to this song. I'm always so fascinated when other people perform it because I have such a specific opinion about what this song is that I love watching somebody else's really specific opinion about what this song is for them. You did some really cool things with this. Like the ands really got me. I love that. I've never seen anybody be like and like using that as the operative word in the sentence, which I loved. Because this is another song where you're like, everybody's done it. Everybody knows it. Everybody has opinions on it. Like we have expectation. You know, it's so fun when you make a big choice like that, a motivated, clear, big choice, not just a big choice for big choice sake, about a song that everybody it has an opinion on. This is where art is awesome because I actually have a totally different opinion about it than Jaylene does, which is I believe that this woman has been thinking about this dream and she could like draw you a map of what that house looks like because she's thought about it so much. However, I agree that this is the first time that she said it out loud to anybody. And that's extremely vulnerable. And who are you talking to? And that I think will inform this specificity that Jaylene is referencing, because I agree. Like a washer and a dryer and an ironing machine so that my clothes aren't right. Like there's a reason that while I love the andness of that line, each individual item also is important. Why are they important to her? Think about how much time it would take you to do your damn laundry if you didn't have machines to do it for you. Can you imagine how much time you get back, right? So not only do I want a washing machine, I also want the dryer. And you know what else I want? I want a steamer for my clothes. Like that sentence is so trivial to us because we live where we live and we grew up the way we grew up. But like, it's actually, each one of those items is a massive want. And I mean, we talk about it in New York all the time about a dishwasher. Most people have grown up with dishwashers, and when you move here, you lose it. And trust me, you will have a whole you'll have list songs in your head about wanting a dishwasher. And you will say it with a lot of emphasis. I do have one. It's okay. I'm okay now. Thank you for asking. For everybody at home is like, is she all right? Do we need to send her a dishwasher? But those items are so important, and again, in my version of this song, she has spent so much time thinking about them. And how vulnerable is it to tell someone that your deepest dream is to own an iron? Like that's a really big statement. So again, it is about thinking about who you're speaking to and understanding that it's the first time you've shared it and you're not really sure how they're going to respond. And why are these items so important? They are not mundane. That is the basic premise of this song, is that she wants what most people think is boring and mundane, and she wants it desperately. And whether that's true for you, you want something desperately, everybody does. So you can imbue those words with the things that matter to you that someone else might think are mundane, right? Everybody's dreams are different. So think about it, like, again, both Jaylene's idea of it's the first time she's thinking about it and mine are both valid, whichever one of them is useful for you. But both of us are saying, make sure you know why you're saying that and make sure you know who you're saying it to. And that will level that song up. But it's a beautiful performance. I have a lot to say because I really like this song.
And thanks for the humble brag on your washer, your dishwasher.
I do. I have it.
Because
dishwasher.
I too have a dishwasher, and it's right here.
Yep.
These two hands. Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you, Leslie.
Christabel, I love you. I love your voice. You're gorgeous. Your voice is gorgeous. And last week, and you're so funny. Last week, like, I love shopping around. Here's what I will say. I play this role a lot. And I think you and I might have the same, not problems, but things that we have to work through. A song like this is already funny. And I love the ands, but you don't need to hit the joke. The thing about, I mean, it was a choice, but for me, these lyrics are already funny. So, and I'm dating a semi-sadist isn't a wink. You gave a few like winks to the audience. It's just a fact.
True.
There's no opinion on it. She's dating a semi-sadist. You're not commenting. You're commenting on the funny. Let them comment on it. And even because I think this is the most beautiful song and the most beautiful moment and heartbreaking moment for her. She's absolutely knows. She's thought about this. She dreams of being Donna Reed. And she's telling these girls for the first time. So even the ands, don't hit them so hard. It's funny, but don't go and don't wink to us. And I'm telling you this because I have the same issues that I have to go there first and then pull it back. And especially this role. It's don't play stupid. You are stupid, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she's stupid, but in general, all of these roles, like Adelaide, that's just a fact. You just what you are. So don't comment more on it. You know what I mean? And I'm really just saying it because I am sure I deal with the same things, and it's taken me a long time to crack this song. But if I can offer you any advice, it's don't comment on something that is already so funny as is. That's all. But I love it. It's fantastic.
Living for the passion for this song, and that's our T-shirt of the day.
We've tapped our generation.
I love this song.
Don't act stupid. You are stupid.
You are stupid.
I actually do need that shirt. I need someone to make me the shirt that says "Don't act stupid. You are stupid." And in this group of women, it is literally the bread and butter.
That's a compliment.
That's bread and butter.
That's a compliment. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
She didn't act stupid. She was stupid. We're
she didn't act stupid. She was stupid. Right. It is literally the definition of my entire career.
Hey, you do that better than anybody I know.
Thank you so much.
That's it. Better than anyone I know. So
talking and singing at the same time. Someone out there who's crafty, by all means, we need 3 T-shirts stat, and I'll take one for bonus. I wear an extra large. Next up in the top 10, we've got Elijah V. Ramos. Elijah is from San Jose, California, and is a student at Manhattan School of Music. Last week, Elijah sang "If Ever I Would Leave You," and this week he's singing "Something to Believe In" from Newsies.
We was never meant to meet, and then we meet. Who knows why? One more stranger on the street, just someone sweet passing by. An angel come to save me, who didn't even know she gave me something to believe in for even a day. And one day may be forever, but that's okay, that's okay. And if I'm gone tomorrow, what was ours still will be. I have something to believe in, now that I know you believed in me. Do you know what I believe in? Look into my eyes and see.
All right, Elijah. Let's start with you, Kate Rockwell.
No, but look at Jaylene is crying. Start with her.
Stop it. Go to Kate. I was so worried that you were going to start with me.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll do my job.
I'm so sweet.
Elijah, it's beautiful. I love this song, and no one sings this song. Everybody sings Santa Fe, and nobody sings this.
Yeah.
And this is such a good. I like Santa Fe too, but I hear it all the time. This is a beautiful song, and we never get it. So yay, kudos to you. Beautiful work. It sounds beautiful in your voice. I have 2 things. One is super superficial and one is more important. So I'll do the more important one first. I want you to, this is such a weird note. Art is subjective. I want you to romanticize this less because, go with me. Everybody give me a sec. Because the text is incredibly romantic. The music is incredibly romantic. The lines are long and lush. The instrumentation, the orchestration is beautiful Disney lushness. Everything is lush and lush and lush. And I want you to fight it. I want you to find the genuineness, the truth to, you have given me something to believe. You are changing the way that I look at the world. That is a massive statement to say to a person, right? And if you say it you are giving me something to believe in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm drowning in sugar. And it's not because what you're doing is too much. It's because you and the music and the lyrics and everything are pumping me with rainbows and lollipops and icing. And I need something to ground. We talk about this in comedy all the time. And it's also very true in Disney, because Disney is spoon feeding you feelings. And that's a great thing. I love Disney, huge Disney fan over here. But they are making sure you understand. Where's my camera? They are making sure you are getting the feeling they're giving you, right? Like exactly. Thank you, Jaylene. She's always going to take my bit and run with it. They are going to pummel you with feeling, and something has to ground it, because you're not, I mean, I know that Newsies was not animated, but like, you're not an animated thing. You're a real person, and this is a real person's life. So like, I want to remember that we're on the ground. Something has to anchor me. And so, and this is subjective, right? Like, this is just my opinion on Disney. I love having a little bit of real in all of the ethereal that is Disney music. And so something that reminds me that this is a human being having a real human experience with another human being in a real human environment, because this is of all of the Disney pieces, this is a real story that we're singing. Like this person is based off of real people who had a real experience. So like, for me, I go like, can we ground a little bit and romanticize it slightly less, because you are already, when the first note hits, it's romantic. We're already there. We're already drinking the tea, and 3 spoonfuls of sugar have been put into it. My superficial feeling is, be aware that this and this are going to teach me a lot about culture, like not culture, but like contemporariness, right? So like a pierced ear, a necklace, jewelry, any of that, a nose ring, any of those accessories show me a period, right? So like, no one pierced their nose in 1855. So like, if you were you're obviously singing Disney, there's literally no period. But just be conscious that when you wear jewelry that is of a certain era, like a contemporary era, the same thing happens with hairstyles or clothing or tattoos. If you have tattoos that are visible, that can hurt people's interpretation of what kind of period you fit in. And I'm telling you this because this is my whole freaking life, my whole career, is if you show up looking contemporary, they will go, she's just so contemporary, right? Mm-hmm. So when you wear a drop down earring or a nose ring in an audition for something like Newsies, which is a period piece, obviously you're not auditioning for Newsies, you're auditioning for, Next on Stage, and therefore it's a little bit more broad. I'm just saying it to let you know. It will tell people that you are a contemporary actor. And some people have a hard time with that. They have a hard time adapting. Yeah. And you will also subjective, right? You can say, I don't give a flying F, and that's great. And you can continue to wear whatever jewelry you want in any tape for any period all the time. But just know that old people go, oh, earring, and they think contemporary, right? Like that's just a truth. And you can like it or not like it, just be aware of it. That's all I want you to do. I just want you to know that when you wear contemporary jewelry, or if you were wearing your hair, this is so stupid, I'm so old, in a mohawk, or if you were wearing like a see-through mesh shirt, all of those are contemporary fashion choices, and they would take me out of the period that this piece takes place in. You get to choose whether or not that matters to you, but know that it is a thing. Yeah, right? Like the Met, exactly.
Yes, that would be a very questionable choice as well. Yes. Yeah.
It depends, I think. I would also
I'm wearing that in my next
be interested in seeing that Jack Kelly, but I'm not directing this version of Newsies that I'm currently referring to. So that's all. It's just a statement to go like, when we put on that, when I used to have a nose ring, I don't wear it anymore because I got so tired of having to take it out so that people stopped telling me, please don't wear your nose ring to the audition for, I don't remember which, I think it was Cabaret, where they were like, can you take out your nose ring? And I was like, really? It's Cabaret.
I'm playing an instrument here.
Right. But that's my premise being like, we get to choose the accessories we choose, right? We get to choose them. So just know that it's a choice.
Great. I won't wear my top hat for my Dear Evan Hansen audition next week.
Or
will I?
I will.
We're still letting Jay Elaine get her feelings together. We'll go to Leslie.
Yes. Elijah, I love you. I love everything about you, and this was so beautiful. Here's my only thing, and I need to ask the panel. It looked like you recorded your vocal and then tried to sync it up with your video, and it was not in sync in a section.
I didn't notice that.
It's just what I saw.
Playback. Here we go.
Because the other two are going to give you so many notes. So if anybody is doing that, here's what that says to me. He's doctored his vocals and he's putting it, a perfect vocal, into a video. I'm not saying that's what happened. That is what I saw. But for anybody who's doing that, you can't do it. And if that means having to do your song 8,000, we've all done it. And that deteriorates every time, the quality of the vocal, you have to do it because they need to know that you can do this 8 times a week. So when it's off to me, it just registers to me like, oh, they picked the best take or fixed it. So just you just can't do that. Just don't do that. And I swear, I don't know. That's just what I saw. But I love you anyway. That's all I'm saying. So.
All right.
Body language. My body language is like, look, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you got to go to the doctor.
Jaylee.
Things you learned during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. That has happened, but only because I view it. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever happened. Look, the way I do tapes is different.
Art is subjective.
It is. And sometimes I wear glasses with no lenses just so I can wear
or
glasses.
Or just be a great editor and sync it up so you cannot tell.
That's what I'm just
saying.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that, I was definitely emotional. There's no doubt because I felt, Elijah, I felt who you were. Like, I was just like, oh, like that's what I got from the tape. And that's the reason why I was like all emotional. So that's fantastic. I love what, Kate was saying about the realness, about knowing the realness of knowing different genres of Disney songs are this, and having to make sure that we do add that element because it is a lot of emotion. But what I felt was able to keep me from being overloaded with sugar, in a sense, just to go along with that analogy, was your genuine laughter in between the first verse, or like there were moments of that laughter was you. And so that's what grounded it for me was, oh, that's who you are. Because there is no insert laugh here. It is the way you connected one line to the next. So that's why I was like, oh, that's why I felt that was you. And I think that's the reason why I was like, oh, I saw Elijah. That's why. So that's what I'm taking. And just to go along with what Kate was saying again about the, you don't know who's behind the table, having thoughts. It's kind of like when dancers back in the day, we would go to dancers' calls and people from LA would wear Ugg boots. And the choreographers would be, in a sense, we say old school, wearing all black. And LA performers would come in with hoodies and stuff like that. And they'd be like this. And there was a feeling that the person was like, they didn't have the people behind the table. Sometimes they
gravitas.
Gravitas. Yeah.
Totally.
And so it's that kind of thing of just being aware. Still do you, but be aware that perhaps people behind the table might be going like, I'm used to this. I'm just saying.
Preconceived notions are real.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's true. They're out there. All right, my friends. Guess what? Elijah is about to be joined by yet another Manhattan School of Music classmate.
My goodness.
And that classmate is Nino Deor from Rockwall, Texas. Last week, Nino sang Our Lady of the Underground, and this week they're singing For Forever from Dear Evan Hansen.
All we see is light for forever, 'cause the sun shines bright for forever. Like we'll be all right for forever this way. Two friends on a perfect day, and there
there he goes, racing toward the tallest tree. From far across the yellow fields, I hear him calling, follow me. And there we go, wondering how the world might look from up so high. One foot after the other, one branch then to another. I'll climb higher and higher, I'll climb till the entire sun shines on my face. And I suddenly feel the branch give way. I'm on the ground. My arm goes numb. I look around and I see him come to get me. He's come to get me. And everything's okay.
That's Nino from Rockwall, Texas. Let's start with you, Kate Rockwell.
Nino, I love that. Wow. I thought that was really beautiful. This is one of those songs that gets done a lot without really taking in what this song is, the complexity of this story that is being told by this character. And you had so much depth to it. There was the euphoria of the journey up the tree, the joy of being at the top, the shock of the fall, and then I'm going to put words in your mouth because I'm going to tell you what I saw, but like the sort of sad joy of what happened at the end of and then he comes to get me, which we of course all know is not real. The sort of falseness of this story in making it what this character wishes it was instead of what it is. Like, again, like a lot of times I think this story gets told in a very simple way, which is we had fun, we climbed a tree, I fell down, my friend was there for me. And of course, we all know that the real beauty of this song is that it did not happen that way. And I felt like you brought I have goosebumps right now. Like you brought so much depth to the description that even if I didn't know the story of Dear Evan Hansen, even if I've been living in a box for the last 20 years of musical theater and had only emerged today, and this was my first experience with this song, I would know that there was something very, very interesting going on in this friendship. And I would have a lot of questions where it was like, oh, wow, this was not that simple. And I love that. I just think that is so challenging to bring to a piece like this. This show is so much harder than we think it is. All of the music from this show is so much more emotionally nuanced than on the page. And I congratulate you on that. That is a huge task. I thought it was beautiful. I could see your tonsils, which, as we've already discussed, I think means you're singing beautifully. Like just that straight shot makes me so happy. Yeah, I love this tape. I thought it was excellent. Nice work.
Great, Jay Lane.
Yes, what I'm taking away is, like what Kate said, there's a joy, sad, confusion that I feel like it seems for me a little too general of sad, this, ba, ba, ba. Like it is well structured, but I'm not seeing a deeper level of the next step with all the work that you've done so far. Is now, what is your thought on top of that? Which is, it seems like this song, you have to play two things. So I feel like you might need to, like, I don't know if you're lying, if you're not lying, but playing one truth of this is what happened, and this is how I felt. Because I was, if I would kind of like I didn't know the story, I was a little confused. If I didn't know anything about it, I'd actually be a little confused as this knowing how you actually are feeling. Or so that's why I think there need to be more specific thoughts on each line of what you are actually thinking, because I saw general joy, general confusion, but a little bit more connection to how the character is really feeling in those moments might be helpful to connect it a little bit more, because it just seemed a little disconnected with very clear structure, but the connection with the character thoughts on top of it I hope that made sense to go along with what Kate said. But beautiful energy. There's no doubt that you have done a lot of work in terms of structuring it. Now it's like the connection, the actor's connection to all that.
Thoughts for Nino, Leslie?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. You sound stunning. I loved the emotion. I agree with the other two that you could even go deeper on this, but I loved this so much more than your choice last week. I thought this fit you so beautifully, and that's all I have to say. I can't add any more. I really, really loved it. I think it's a perfect song for you.
Fantastic. All right. Next up in the top 10, we are happy to welcome Rachel Harper from Midland, Texas. Rachel's a student at Texas Tech University. Last week, she brought us Flowers from Hadestown, and this week she's singing Meadowlark from The Baker's Wife.
And what can I do if finally for the first time the one I'm burning for returns the glow? If love has come at last, it's picked the worst time. Still, I know I've got to go. Fly away, my meadowlark. Fly away on the silver morning. If I stay, I'll grow to curse the dark. So it's off where the days won't bind me. I know I leave wounds behind me, but I won't let tomorrow bind me back this way. Before my past once again can blind me. Fly away.
All right. Giving us the long ending there. I like it. I want
What's the short ending?
Right?
It's 86 minutes long.
there's no short or small involved in Meadowlark in any way, shape, or form. That's the truth. All right. Let's go to Leslie.
Your voice is stunning, gorgeous, and I love the joy. I need to see a little more of a story, and it's very hard with this song. Everybody knows this song. Everybody sings this song.
Yeah.
Again, you all, I need to see your take on it, and I just got a general Meadowlark take. So if you're gonna do a really, I don't want to say overdone, but a famous song like this, I got to see your version of it because your voice is spectacular. The only time I really lost you and your vocal is it seemed like the music, it's very hard to do these tapes, you all, because it sounded like the music was ahead of you a little bit. And so before my path, you were rushing, and then I lost the quality. It just felt like you tightened up a little bit. And I really liked the end. Most people don't belt that end or make it as strong of, you know what I mean? Like, I think I liked it. I think I liked the end. But again, just give me more of your take on what this means to you. But you sound stunning. That's all.
But yeah, it was a very, very cool choice at the end.
Yeah.
Jaylane.
Beautiful vocals, no doubt. Absolutely. This could be just being me, but the me and the way and the me and the way, like that type of gesture, it happened a couple times. It's fine to happen once, but when it happens again, it's I just get taken out because I feel like you really are what you say, like what is that term? You know, like you're acting out with the lines that you're already saying. Like you're saying me,
indicating,
and away. You're indicating. Hello, Jaylane. It's not even a big word. I'm like but anyway, it's that kind of thing where I no need to indicate of you, me, that kind of thing, because it just kind of took me out and it made me think it's not organic. And we want this to be like, pretend like you've never done this before. That is the skill. So that's why it took me out. And I want to pretend that you have never sung this before. You never said any of these words before. So it's that type of organic thing that we need to do. Technique mixed with organic, put it together, and we're like, oh my gosh, I've never done this before. So that's kind of what I was looking for in this, because your vocals, no doubt, but it's that organic kind of feeling that would be impressive on top of this song.
To you, Kate.
I didn't write a note. I just want to say out loud, I didn't write a note. I just underlined Meadowlark 3 times. That's what I wrote down. So it's a very clear. I took really clear notes on this one. Hi, Rachel. Yes, echo what the lady said. You sound beautiful. I'm gonna be hard on you. This song is really, really boring. It's not a boring song. It's not a boring song at all. It's actually a really interesting story, but it is so difficult to dig underneath all of the bland musical theaterisms that are in this song for 9.5 minutes and find the actual story that's happening. It's really hard. I don't feel like you can tell me what this song's about. I feel like you could sing this song in your sleep and it is glorious, and you know that, and that's great. Like, it's great to know when stuff like this sits in your voice and you can love the song. And yet, if you don't know what the real story is underneath it all, it's just boring. And that's why I don't like this song. I'm mad at this song. I've been mad at this song since college when someone sang it in a studio for 28 solid minutes because we had to do it more than once. And I was like, what is this song about? I've been mad at it since then. And trust me, that was a long time ago. So it's not you, it's Meadowlark. But my angst is at Meadowlark, not you. But it's true, which is like, you are now entering into the list of people that have performed this song. I'm pretty sure there's an Audra version out there. My friend Erica sings this song all the time. Like, you are Patty. Yeah, like, it has been done by the people, right? Who have lost their minds, and that's why they're so good at what they do. They will tell you what this song is about to them. Yeah. And if you're going to do it, then dig out the real story underneath all of the blah metaphors about birds, because it's not about a bird. It's not all about a bird, and it's not about being pretty, and it's not about big notes. It's about something sad. This is a sad song when you really rip it apart. So, like, while I appreciate the joy that I did absolutely get from you, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't come out and sing Defying Gravity and show me your big, beautiful notes. Like, you got to show me that you're about to throw your life away, right? We've all Cynthia Erivo doing it, so we all know what it's supposed to look like. That's it. Yeah. If you're going to do it, do a Cynthia Erivo. If you're going to do Meadowlark, I got to see the desperation. I got to see the sadness. I got to see underneath the joy. Otherwise, it's too long. It's too long, and even in a 32-bar cut, it's too long of a 32-bar cut. I'm mad at the song. Hi, Rachel. So nice to meet you. Can't wait to see what you do next week. I hate Meadowlark.
I'm mad at you. I'm mad at the
It's not you. It's not you. It's Meadow.
One of my favorite songs of all time. Okay. The final. I worship the God that walks on. The final spot in our top 10 goes to Gavin Blonda from Rye, New Hampshire. Gavin, you're in the top 10. Gavin's a student at the University of New Hampshire. Last week, he made us feel the power of love. And this week, he's searching for his corner of the sky.
Oh.
So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. The sky.
I like an ending exhale. I do, always have. I'm throwing it out there. Wild card. Who wants it? Jump in there.
I'll take it. I'll start. very short. Gavin, gorgeous voice. Again, this song, very well known. I encourage you to look at the vast MTI catalog, perhaps, and learn some other songs. Your voice is beautiful. Here's the thing that I have with this cut. You cannot choose the verse that says, watch me sing softly to the dawn, and then growl your way through the next verse and belt it. It just doesn't make sense, because then you're not paying attention to the story. So if you're going to choose that cut, and I know you can do it because your voice is incredible, if you're going to choose sing softly to the dawn, please sing softly to the dawn in the next verse. That's all. Connect the story for all of you. You have to look at these lyrics. They are your map, your roadmap. So really look at that. Why you're saying, I can whisper this. So just be aware of what you're choosing for your cuts, because it matters, because that really took me aback. But your voice is stunning. So I'm really looking forward for you. I really want you to choose something that is out of your comfort zone next time, I think. Something that I wouldn't think you would sing. But great job. Great job.
Yeah, it does take reminding sometimes, I think, for all of us, that the people who write these songs and write these lyrics, they mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Kate.
Yes, I say. Hi, Gavin. It's beautiful. You have a breathtaking instrument. You have great control over it. I think you know that, which is awesome. Yay, thumbs up. My feeling about this song is I loved the beginning of this. I loved where we started. And I think that the reminder that I would give you is that we have not achieved it yet. So where we started with yes, it's going to be, yes, I know, I have the confidence in me, and I know that. Let's remember that while that is all true, it hasn't been done. And so the end is literally, gotta find my corner. I need this. I want, I will have, I have to have. So there's a lacking still, right? If I don't have it yet, if I need it, then I haven't gotten it. So just keep that in mind. It isn't just, it's also, I need it. And I don't disagree with what Leslie said, but I did kind of like the growl of it, because I think that riff is often a challenging one to emotionally support. It gets done all the time, and then it is just notes, and that bugs the crud out of me. So I liked the I'm gonna do this. I kind of liked the motivation in there.
Just pick a different verse before
right,
it.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe those just lyrics, those just don't lead into that very well. But I liked that you went into it with that drive. I would just encourage you to keep it through the end, and remember that it isn't just this would be nice. It would be nice to find my corner of this. No, I have to do it. I have to, which is why I just sang at you for 4.5 minutes. So that's my thought.
That's why I just sang at you. Jay Elaine.
What you gotta sing it, people?
Yes, I love the youthful energy behind it, because that's what this is. It's that kind of fun stuff. I was also thinking, I was kind of stuck on that sing softly. I was also stuck on that moment of I was taken out a little bit. I heard that you sang softly on that line, which indicated to me that you are acting on the lines, as opposed to in between and everywhere. So that's a clear indication to me of you do know what you're saying on that line, but you're not having a thread throughout the whole thing. You are taking every single line at face value and making sure that you are acting on the line as opposed to in between. And then it makes me think also at the very end, just like Kate said, that exhale said to me, I'm done as an actor. And I was like, no, you're not done. I want it to fade and be where are you going next? Where are you? So we have the moment before, we're singing it, and then we're I'm going to go to the next thing. What would you do on stage? It would be technically in the show, you'd go on to the next thing. So I want to go, where are you going next? As opposed to, I'm done, actor, I'm back. That's what it is. You took me out of all the hard work that you've done. So everyone be aware of the beginning, of course, but then where is the moment after, as opposed to the exhale, which... yes, we're waiting for applause, but just making sure that we're still acting in that moment.
Awesome. I want to say, judges, this has been a particularly fabulous critique session.
We have talked a lot.
Well, it's all been really juicy and really in the zone. So
It's because they're all great. We're just really being so picky.
it's great. It's really great. How lucky for these youngsters. All right, congratulations to our top 10. Not done yet. The judges will now take a look at 3 awesome almost and give one of them the opportunity to move forward in our competition for your votes in the next round. Now, before we meet those awesome almost, I want to mention that AMDA College of the Performing Arts is the proud presenting sponsor of Season 5 of Next on Stage. For more than 60 years, AMDA College of the Performing Arts has continued to lead the education community with creative and innovative programs for emerging performing artists. You can schedule an audition today at amda.edu and study at AMDA, where artists create. And let's learn a little bit more about AMDA right now.
When you come to AMDA, you'll be working with teachers who work in the industry. You really will hit the ground running, training for a professional career.
If you see the world, you want more and make it right.
All right, judges, it's time to meet those awesome almost. These are contestants that came so close to making the top 10, but you get the opportunity to move one forward in the competition. Let's get to it. First up, for your consideration, we have Gabriel Sanchez from Adelanto, California, and a student at the University of Michigan. Last week, Gabriel sang Gravity, and this week he's singing For Forever from Dear Evan Hansen.
And there he goes, racing toward the tallest tree. From far across the yellow field, I hear him calling, follow me. There we go, wondering how the world might look from up so high. One foot after the other, one branch into another. I climb higher and higher, I climb till the entire sun shines on my face. And I suddenly feel the branch give way. I'm on the ground, my arm goes numb. I look around, and I see him come to get me. He's come to get me. And everything's okay.
All right, that is Gabriel Sanchez. Next up, we have Gianna DiTucci from Wayne, New Jersey. Gianna is a student at Manhattan School of Music, and last week she brought us No Man Left for Me. Today, she's singing Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? That you're on land, they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above? Out of the sea, wish I could be part of that world.
That's Gianna DiTucci. And finally, Angelina Malici from Ridge, New York, and a student at Marymount Manhattan College. Last week, she sang Summer in Ohio, and this week she's singing She's Mind from Waitress.
You are not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two. For that girl that I knew who is scared of the life that's inside her, getting stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little and bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. Oh, used to be mine. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is always mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
That is Angelina Malici. Judges, you have a lot to talk about. And when we come back, our judges will share who they have decided to move forward into the next round. All right, judges, you're back. Conversations have been had, decisions have been made, and Leslie Margarita,
Long.
decision that has been made.
All three were incredible. This was like, you deliberate. It's very hard because you're all incredible. We have decided Angelina Malici. Well, Malici, we're not sure, but I'm Italian. I'm assuming you are too. So Angelina. Angelina, what a voice. We all agreed that the texture of your voice is so rad, so cool. We all want to see you in 6 right now. And more than just your voice, you were so in it. And we've obviously seen this song lots. We felt it. And it just it got to us. It was the whole package. And I cannot wait to see what you do next. If you're not snapped up by 6, but we'll see.
Lots can happen in a short period of time. It's show business after all. Congratulations, Angelina.
You could be going to the White House, you never know.
Right?
You don't know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everyone moving on to the top 10. Now 11. Wait, is that a green light I see in the distance? Oh, well, either it's a smudge on my computer screen or no, it's the Great Gatsby week that I see. That's right. Our contestants, we're throwing another curveball your way. So look out for emails explaining what exactly that means. And
That's all I know.
Next Friday, December 13th at 9 p.m. to announce who is making it into the top 5. Just like that, we'll be at the top 5. Be sure to follow Broadway World on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to see when the next round of voting opens up to the public. That's you on Monday, December 9th. That's it for now. Thank you very much, judges. And bye, everybody.
Ooh, fireworks! Fireworks!
Oh, fireworks.
Oh.